Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise, and this reading is going to look into Marjorie Greene Taylor's karma and her professional future and her personal future. So today's Thursday, January 28th, and I have some information that came through Heather Cox Richardson. I get nightly. They're usually like really late at night, so you read them the morning after. But she's an excellent historian, and she just keeps on top of. She summarizes all the current events, political current events. So I highly recommend you subscribing to her, daily emails. So anyway. So this is, I'm kind of like condensing some information that came out recently. I guess there was a video where, this wackadoodle representative from our, Republican Congress, so Marjorie Taylor Greene, she was walking down the street back in March of 2019 harassing David Hogg. Now, you probably remember he's one of the teenagers who survived the Parkland, Florida high school, it's really awful, sad mass shooting that happened, and I think it was in 2018. Anyway, so she ran after him with her little film crew and called him a crisis actor. She's doing the ridiculous, what's his name, Alex Jones. She's acting like Alex Jones. She called him a crisis actor who was paid by George Soros. So she's highly misinformed. She's also a this letter of the alphabet, a non-fan. But anyway, so she's running after him, harassing him, calling him, saying all these. I mean, can you imagine the poor guy probably still has trauma around what he went through. He lost some of his friends, in that mass murder at that high school. So anyway, she said she's running after him, yelling this crap at him, and telling him that that she was armed and he better, talk to her. But anyway, I guess he didn't take the bait, and then she called him a coward. So, the day before that came out, so that was yesterday, excuse me, the 27th, and I guess on the 26th, there was a bunch of reporters found an old Facebook post of hers where she was, applauding the comments where someone was talking about hanging Hillary and Obama and even killing Nancy Pelosi. So there's that. And she says, I don't know if it's true, but she says that she's filed articles of impeachment against Biden. So she's just, knucking futs, man. She's just out of it. And so Congressman Jimmy Gomez from California, he's called for her to be expelled from Congress. And then yesterday, the GOP House assigned her to... oh yeah, here's what the GOP is doing currently. This is what they're doing to themselves. Anyway, they assigned her to the Education and Labor Committee. So my question is, besides I'm going to, look into her karma, I want to know if she'll be removed or at least censured. And also, Debbie with Freebird Spirit, everyone please subscribe to her channel. She's excellent. She did a reading on her, and then also I remember Lauren Beaumert. Beaumert or Bobert? I forget the woman's name. But anyway, I purposely haven't watched the one that she did on Marjorie yet because I didn't want to be influenced at all. Because she's usually, I think almost always, like right on. So anyway, I recommend you watching that video that she did. I think it came out yesterday. Okay, so let me tune back into, what's her name? Marjorie Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, okay, so I have her face in my mind, and I'm asking only for the truth. I only want the truth. Okay. So, the forces in motion in her life, her challenges. Wait a minute, it was like this? Okay. I have to be careful and flip it the wrong way. Her karma from past lives. Okay. Her specific karma for this lifetime. Okay. I'll get these in order in a moment. What is she destined to experience, like the karma that's hanging down on her currently, based on, you know, all of her exercising her free will? Okay. Her professional future. Wow. And her personal future. Okay. So let me move these out of the way, but it's possible that I may draw more cards, but I actually think everything's pretty clear. Let me move them down this way because I tend to, because my lamp over here to this side tends to, yeah, there we go, tends to bring in the glare. Okay. So we have the High Priestess reversed for the forces in motion currently going on in this life. So when it's reversed, this is, you know, because when it's straight up, of course, you know, this card is all about your intuition and your connection with your intuition and trusting your inner voice. Well, when it's reversed, it shows the opposite of that. She's a hypocrite. She's just really, really narrow-minded. And she's also, because, you know, the High Priestess is ruled by the moon, reversed would show that she's really emotionally immature, you know. She just hasn't evolved at all. And, you know, probably really unstable. Like her emotions are probably all over the place. I would say that she moves through life in a crap ton of emotional reaction. And her challenge, well, with the Hierophant reversed, her challenge is that she's rebelled against the status quo. She's, you know, she's literally just in rebellion. She could be that, you know, I would want to say, with, like, if I drew the Hierophant reversed while I'm doing a reading for any one of you guys, I would say, well, you could be opening up to a whole new vision for yourself, you know, that's outside of any dogma. Because usually when the card's straight up, it can be dogmatic. But on another level, you know, because we have to remember that the Hierophant is all about getting advice from somebody who knows, like, you know, either spiritual law or knows the rules of the, you know, the laws of the land type of a thing. You know, someone who has, you can see the keys down here, is someone who has, you know, studied at least the rules of some particular organization, right? So this could even be, we could look at this card as being our government. Well, when it's reversed, she hasn't gotten good advice from someone, you know. I mean, she's definitely, like, not conforming. She's rebelling, but it's coming from really bad advice because she's bought into the whole, you know, that organization, and they're just utter, just, you know, BS. To quote, now he didn't say this about them, but to quote one of Joe Biden's awesome words, is just malarkey. So these two cards here are really, you know, really telling us a lot. Now, her karma from her past lifetime shows that she was just under heavy, heavy burden. And you can see the image in the picture here. You know, I mean, this guy, he's so, he's moving through life so just head down, push, push, push. I just do what I want. He can't see his trees, and he can't see where can't see his trees. He can't see his feet. He can't see the forest for the trees ahead of him, and he can't see even where he's going, you know, just every step ahead of him, because his head's just like inside the, just inside the quagmire, you know, of I just got to do it. So this is somebody with an emotional, with just a crap ton, like I said, of emotional reaction, and also someone who comes from, it just moves through life impulsively. You know, there's she's probably has mental issues, and an impulse control disorder would be one of them. You know, she might be a hard worker, but she's got a lot of stress and a lot of worry, and, you know, just an overload. So she came in with a lot of, I would say, emotional baggage from her, at least just last lifetime. Now, her specific karma for this lifetime is that she's not going to get away with it. You know, you can see Seven of Swords straight up. You know, this guy's getting away with something. He's not taking everything, but he's getting away with something. Well, reversed, nope, not gonna get away with it. What he's destined to experience, or she's, I'm sorry, this is a guy. And this is a guy too. But what she's destined to experience currently in this life, because, you know, she's got this baggage from her past life, and then she came in with this specific karma. And I get this feeling of, like, you know, somebody who was hired to just go do a job, and she didn't ask questions, she just did it. But in this lifetime, she's not going to get away with it, because she never, you know, she never listened to her intuition, never hooked up. And maybe she was part of, like, a rebellion against, like, one of the kings or something like that, but wasn't smart about how to you know, take care of herself and how to do her job right. But I don't see a good job here for her at all. I mean, there was some darkness. Now, and it's further iterated here too. But currently, you know, I mean, if a person comes in with some really negative karma, they can turn it around. I mean, you just make new choices. You make amends, and you make new choices, and you know, at some point you evolve. She hasn't done that. So in this lifetime, she's going to have to experience, and she probably has been already, being exposed. You know, because straight up, the Page of Swords has to do with gathering information, delivering information. There's sometimes the spies, you know, so probably she was some type of, like, a spy for a you know, way back when, someone who was in authority. But this lifetime, she's not meant to get away with it. She's not meant to get away with it, and she's meant to be exposed. And this is oftentimes a card of mental illness, mental illness, and just plain old, you know, health that's not so good. Because it's ruled by the swords, we're also in that realm of legal issues. But, you know, too, it's just a lot of mind games. Now, my friend Lisette, one time when I was reading on Trump, because I used to do all those daily readings on Trump, she noticed, you know, just in the background, like, if you look at this tree that's blowing here, doesn't that look like Facebook's symbol? So here she has been, you know, spreading lies on Facebook, or colluding with lies, and, you know, maligning other, well, like I said, you know, Hillary and Obama, and wanting to kill Nancy Pelosi, you know, like jumping on board with that. And she's been exposed on Facebook. So, you know, whether or not she took her comments or whatever, people keep track of that. You know, people screenshot things that have been, you know, released. That's how Trump has been, you know, well, you know, he's banned from Twitter, but that's how people have kept track of everything that Trump tweeted, even though he'd turn around and delete it, you know, as soon as he'd get in trouble. So the record's out there, and she'll be exposed. She has been exposed already, and she's probably going to have some legal issues on her hands. But she's been a manipulator, and she's going to experience being manipulated. Now, she has been already manipulated by, you know, Anon. And, you know, it's not good. It's not good at all. This, you know, these mind games and manipulation, it's not good. So she's, like I said, with that mental illness that she has going on, she's prey to this misinformation that's been put out there. You know, like anybody that believes that George Soros is doing all the things that they're saying he's done. I mean, the dude is like, I think he's 92 or something, and he's married to a younger wife, and I don't think he's pulling any strings behind the scenes. I mean, maybe he did in the past, but I don't see it. And the things that they are, the things that they're saying about him, you know, what he's doing, it's ridiculous. And it's the kind of stuff that had, you know, remember that whole Pizzagate thing that came out a long time ago, and there was a raid into just a plain old pizza parlor. There's no basement below, and I don't remember if anybody got hurt, but it was really stupid. So she's prey to, like, you know, a cult leader, which she was, you know, with Trump. Anybody that still follows him is prey to this, you know, mental manipulation, these mind games. So, you know, it's not a good road to go down. You really have to pull yourself back if you're thinking about listening to these people. At least that's my take on it. So her professional future, well, she's still in chains. She's still manipulated. This is the major manipulator here. It's based in fear. Her professional future will be full of fear, gossip, entanglements, and just being tempted, constantly being tempted is what I'm getting here. And maybe even addictions, you know, she may already have, like, what do we know, you know, if she's, I mean, I tried to look for her astrology chart, but there's nothing out there on it. I couldn't find anything other than she's a Gemini, but I'm not going to bag on Geminis, you know, I would need to see the whole chart. But there's something here about addictions, I feel, with her. I feel like she's just really blind, and so in her professional future, she's going to experience more of that, more pessimistic, greedy, you know, lies and cheating and abuse. This is what's coming down on her professionally. Now, her personal future with the Chariot reverse, well, she's not going anywhere. There's no success. She's going to be really, you know, unstable. Again, these cards go together. And, you know, she's going to be going through a lot of conflict. A lot of conflict. So let me draw a couple more cards since I have room here. Actually, I could draw 3 more. I want to see if she'll be removed. Will she be removed or at least censured? Removed from those committees. Like, what's going to happen? So we have the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, and the Eight of Swords, so there's that restriction. And the King of Cups. Okay, so with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, of course, you know, this guy's not going anywhere. He doesn't move that fast. He kind of plods along even when, you know, when it's upright. But the deal is when it's reversed, like she's just really stuck. And she's, it's like the card of the, you know, like the deadbeat. But unstable. So in her future, you know, her future is very unstable as a congressperson. And then with the Eight of Swords here, of course, she is going to be restricted somehow. And the King of Cups, with this guy coming in reversed, it is very emotionally abusive. So she's I mean, man, it's like self-sabotage. It looks like to me like a lot of self-sabotage, and that maybe this card right here is all the clues as far as being the High Priestess reversed, you know, because even straight up the High Priestess is about being silent. But it brings in, you know, deeper understanding and clarity. But when it's reversed, that could be silencing too, because it is a betrayal. You know, there's secrets that come out, and there's a betrayal because there's a hidden agenda underneath it all. So people aren't going to trust her in the future, and all of this is coming out. For her personally and professionally. She'll be restricted. I don't know if someone is going to control her even more or abuse her, because, you know, personally and professionally, these cards are terrible. We'll just have to wait and see. But as far as, well, this could have to do, because, you know, the King of Cups straight up is my, you know, in the upright position, that's my Biden card. So reverse, this is where she's trying to bring in those articles of impeachment against him, and that's going to be seen as very abusive towards him. So she's not going to do well. She'll be restricted. So the articles, this tells me that the articles of impeachment against him are not going to go anywhere. Not going to go anywhere. She'll be restricted. Probably wouldn't even make it to the floor. You know, wouldn't even make it to the Senate. You know, the votes to get through the House wouldn't even come in. Because there's no, you know, what would he be impeached for? You know, what's the valid? Oh my goodness. So, okay, well, that's all I'm seeing. It just doesn't look good for her at all. And I'm going to get this uploaded as soon as I can, and I'll be back to, I don't know who I'll read on next, but I'm going to get one more done today. Okay, thanks you guys. Bye.